Today I'm going to go through how to make an appointment in your Google Calendar so parents can book a slot for your PTC. What you need to do first is just have a web page open to any of your Google pages. It doesn't really matter what you're in. And from there you just need to go into the upper right hand corner where you see the 9-pin Google icon. And once you click on that, you just need to find Google Calendar and it should open up. Once you have your Google Calendar open, this is a normal view. It doesn't really matter what view you're in, but you'll notice, just like with all Google applications, in the upper left-hand corner, there's this little plus here. And so if we click on that, you should have at the very bottom listed a function called Appointment Schedule. If you don't see that, come by and see me. It's just a quick little setting inside your settings for your calendar. Once selected, it doesn't really matter which day you already have selected in your Google Calendar, because we can go ahead and change the date of availability within these settings here that we're going to explore. Once again, you can always at any time take a tour, which is up here at the top, and it will go through each of the functions and explain them in detail. The first thing you'll need to do is create a title, but instead of actually going through creating one right here, I'm going to look at a pre-existing one that I have and kind of do it backwards so you can kind of see what I've already filled in, because I already have it set up for the details that are required by AISK for our parent-teacher conferences. So I'm going to close that, and I know that my PTC is, I believe, February 13th or 12th. Yeah, it's both these days. You'll notice in this view here, I actually, let me get so I can see the day. We have Monday and Tuesday here, the 12th and 13th. And you'll notice that I have a bar here in a different color, which is like an orange, that signifies that I already have a PTC for technology created. So to see the details of that, so when you create yours, you just have to click on it. At a later time, when you want to come back and revisit this, if you forget where the booking page is at, or if you just want to see who's actually signed up, you can always just go back, click on the date, and open your booking page. Let's go ahead and look at that now. You can also share this page or get a link to it by just clicking on share. Now, since I clicked on the booking for this one appointment, it only shows me this one appointment. Now, you'll notice that nothing is showing up, but I'm also not on the correct date here. I'm going through the 26th through the 1st. So I need to switch over to February, not January. And I believe you can see it coming up. Whoops, there you go. Now I need to go to the week. And there it is. On the 12th and 13th, I have all my slots listed here, all my available slots. And you'll notice one of them seems to be a little bit off. I think, I'm not really sure why that is. I got to look at the timings on here, but they are there. Okay, so let's go actually into, you could click share, by the way, up here. And if you want to see what parents see, all you have to do is in the upper left-hand corner, click on this link. Okay, so I'm going to go back to, I'm going to close this. I'm going to go back to my edit function right here where it kind of shows me, and it actually tells me what's some of the details of it. Like I have my Google meeting, which I'll show you in a second. So I'm just going to go ahead and hit edit. You might already be here because it really just opens up this edit page, which is the same as the create an appointment slot page as well. It's the same. So the first thing you'll notice is it's going to ask for a title, and I gave it PTC for technology. You can call it what you like. The next item down, which you need to signify, is the duration, and you can even do custom if you want, but I believe for this one, it is for our PTCs, it is 15 minutes. Next is availability. The availability, the first thing you need to choose is, there's a selection here for does not repeat or repeat weekly. It's going to be does not repeat. Now once you select that, it only gives you one date, and you'll have to add another date because we have two of them, the 12th and the 13th. And so you could just click on the date to change it, and to change the time, it's the same thing. You just select it, and then you can change it. You could actually type in by minute if you wish to modify it, okay? And Google's quite smart. You could use a 24-hour clock or a 12-hour clock, and it will adjust it accordingly. Next down, is going to be the zone, which you don't need to change. What's also really nice about Google Calendar is it automatically knows what time zone you're in, so you don't have to adjust it for parents who are not in our time zone. If they use Google Calendar, or when it sends them an invite, it will recognize where they're at and it will change it accordingly. Next is going to be scheduling window. I would recommend that you uncheck these two. You don't have to, but if you don't and you kind of mess up the dates where they fall outside these windows, you won't yourself be able to see the appointment slots. I'm going to go ahead and close that. The next one is going to be booking appointment settings. And in here, you're going to do, if we have breaks, which we do not, so you want to unselect both of these, okay? I can explain this functionality in more detail if you are interested in using this for, maybe you have a student, one student per week that needs to do a book reading or a day, or for if you want to set up meetings for students to come in and see you after school. This is where this might be very useful. The next thing you want to do is check calendars for cross conflicts, and by default it sets it up to your calendar, so it'll let you know if you try to book something within a slot that one of the parents has already selected. Like if you notice my calendar on the 12th, theoretically I have a couple of tasks in here, and if a parent selects one of those during those times, it'll warn them that there's a conflict and warn me. It won't make it so they can't do it, it just gives a warning. The next thing is the color, right? And you can change the color so it stands out a little bit better. You could even add a label in there if you want, but I'm not going to do that. I've already changed the color so it's different from my normal tasks that I have to do. Okay. After you're finished with that, you're going to go to next. For the booking page photo and name, don't change that because that's your default picture like I have up here in the upper right hand corner. If you don't want to change that picture, do not mess with the setting. The next one is going to be location. And in here you could check in person or a Google Meet. Do not select Google Meet video unless you are not going to be at school at all that day. If parents want to virtually meet with you, I'll show you how to do that in a moment. So for now, I would check in-person meeting. Now, when you do that, you can go ahead and give it your room number. I'm going to put Media Center because that's where I will be located. It will give a suggestion of like where it is, like somewhere in the world. Do not select one of these because it'll be an actual place somehow that's listed in Google Maps to be exact. The final thing is the description, and in here is where I recommend that you put a little note stating that if you want to meet with me virtually, please use the following Google Meet link. You could use Zoom, you can use whatever you want, but this is where you will put it. Let me show you how you make that. In your selector up here, the Google App Selector, go ahead and click on that and find Google Meet. Once you find Google Meet, it opens up. In here, all you need to do is enter new meeting and create a meeting for later. Okay? This meeting link is unique and it stays around forever as far as I understand. So once you create it, it gives you this information here, and I can just go ahead and click the copy information. And once I have that information, I can paste it here in this little description box, and that's what I've done. I removed the phone in information because you don't really need that. This is a unique meeting code. If you go back to where we just were and select make a new meeting again, it will give you a different code. What I recommend is you just make it once and you don't even have to remember it. You don't have to write it down anywhere because it's always going to reside here where you paste it. You can always find it just by going to this appointment scheduler, find the appointment, and click the link that you've pasted already. So it will always be there. The parents will have access to it and you will have access to it. And it never goes away. And it's the same one. So you are the owner of that. So when you go in there into the meeting, you can record, You can kick people out. You can mute them. You are in full control of that meeting because it's your account. Okay? You can mute people if you want. If someone's still in there, or no one's going to be able to find it either. I mean, Google's really good about that. It shouldn't be a problem. Once again, if you want, go ahead and use Zoom too. The school will not supply you with a Zoom account though, because we're already at our maximum account that we are allowed. So Google Meet works absolutely perfectly fine. It's more than adequate for what we're doing. The next thing is the Google form. This is really, really important. You do not have to add anything other that's by default there, which is first name, last name, and email address. But I recommend that you put student's name and possibly grade. And when you do that, and you add a custom item, you just need to select it, hit custom item, give it a title, and make it required. You could add as many custom fields as you want to the form. There's no limit, as far as I know. Finally, the confirmation reminders. This is where it automatically will send them an email reminder and send you an email reminder that you were supposed to be somewhere. You can add additional reminders. Let me scroll down. And so add reminder, and you can add as many as you want. You can just keep going, and you can even tell it, how many minutes before. Okay, I'm going to delete these because I don't need them. And once you're finished creating, or even going back and editing an appointment schedule, just hit save, and you'll see it. Once again, you could just put it out of your mind for now. When you get closer to the actual date, I'd recommend going in and checking and making sure everything is perfectly fine, but it should be. All you need to do to do that is actually just click on there. I actually click on the appointment and do open booking page. If you want to see all your booking pages, like if you have multiple different events that you're using schedule for, you would use this. But for now, I believe you only have the PTC, and you just click this. Now, one last thing that you should probably do once you create this is you need to share it with Denise. And as far as I understand, that's all you need to do for now. Okay, Chris will decide how they will send out, or how you will let the parents know how to sign up for a meeting. But Denise absolutely needs this, and Chris has access to this as well. So you're just going to click on share, and once you have this page up, all you need to really do is click copy link. By the way, I believe if you have multiple schedules, you could just select it there. But I'm just going to do copy link. I'm going to hit done. Now I need to go to my Google Drive, and in Drive, I'm going to search for a file called PTC, and there should only be one, I believe, but this is the actual full name if you want to type the whole thing in. So it's PTC second semester 23-24. Once you click on that, you'll notice a document here. It looks like Paul's in here already. We got a few people already added. Just go ahead, add your name. You're going to click in the next box and paste your link. And then you're going to highlight. It's a little bit tricky, but you have to highlight it by actually holding down the mouse button and scrolling over it. And then in the very upper center on the toolbar, there's a little icon that looks like that. It says Insert Link. You just click it one time, and it makes your link hot or live. So once that's finished, you're good to go. If you have any questions about this, or if you run into any difficulties, please come by and see me. I'm available pretty much anytime. I will make the time to help you. So I hope you find this informative. Look forward to all of us completing this successfully.